that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion. Just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat. Testify the motion. Loving this devotion.
Hello everyone, my name is Crystal and today we will be going to Thailand, Bangkok. So I went together with my dad. It's more of a family vacation and we took a 4 p.m. flight out of Singapore on Singapore Airlines to Bangkok. It was a 2-hour flight. If you've flown with Singapore Airlines before, you'll know they serve hot towels and peanuts in the past, but because of COVID, no longer anymore. But the service was great, the flight was smooth, and I'm very impressed in general. And I also took a really long nap because I was really tired. Oh, but the food, let me tell you, the food is so good. It's even better than a lot of hawker center food that I've had here. I had mashed potatoes and chicken. The chicken is so tender, it just melts into my mouth, and they gave a Magnum double chocolate full size. I was super happy, as you can see. By the time we touched down, it was 5 p.m. local time, but the problem was that they have a taxi queue system which is super duper long, and we only got a taxi almost like 1.5 hours later, so we really couldn't do anything. It was really so dark at night and we only can start our day the very next morning. So we stayed at Pachaburi Soi 19, and this is literally right outside our hotel. You can see the streets are lined with clothes. My dad and I walked out to the main road itself to look for some breakfast. Oh, and you've heard about this wonton mee or wonton noodle store that is very popular. It used to be located at Soi 19, now they're at Soi 15. Don't bother, don't go. Look at the queue, it's ridiculous. In the past, pre-COVID, I've eaten this before. Portion is pretty small, nothing fantastic, tastes like any regular wonton mee. So we just ate at a regular food court, which was just rice and curry chicken if I'm not wrong, before we actually started our shopping at Platinum Fashion Mall. This is the wholesale fashion hub where there are like floors of clothes, rows and rows of clothes. Lots of trendy clothing available at Platinum Mall for different genre, different styles. Y2K, tweed, Coco Chanel 2-piece sets as well. Feminine, preppy, very cottagecore, sweet girl vibes. And I noticed this one upcoming trend right now, as you can see, textured clothing and also a lot of bright colored clothing, maybe partially because of COVID. So there are like bright pinks, bright blues, very bright colors in general. I'll be honest, I didn't really shop much at Platinum because nowadays I rather buy high quality clothing and I know what kind of styles of clothing I like to wear as well. So I bought basic t-shirts before we took a break. We went for lunch at the food court upstairs. This is pad thai, so it's like noodles with prawns and bean sprouts and peanuts. I had to steal some from my dad and just, try a little bit, and it's actually edible. It's actually nice. Comparing to Singapore's food centers, Thailand's one is so much better. And if you're looking for jeans, I highly recommend Henry Combo. This is a Thai brand, very affordable, about $25 or $30 for jeans. They also had tote bags, but this is more on the flimsy side, so I don't really recommend it. So this is Moshi Moshi, and this is a Japanese inspired lifestyle store, and the things that are really affordable. We're talking as low as 20 bahts or 20 cents, and they sell really adorable. Look at this notebook, so cute. Then I found my dad waiting for me outside. I think he was about to fall asleep. I think the poor dude must be so tired. It's only day 2. Afterwards, we headed to George's Fair. This is the latest train night market. Plenty of food here, and I absolutely love the vibes. Lots of foods, bars, drinks, maybe small finger food as well. The only issue is that because it's an open air night market, you can see that people are carrying umbrellas and it was about to rain, and it did eventually rain within the next 10 minutes-ish. At the front, about 70% is food, 30% at the back of the market is actually clothing shopping. As you can see, there's actually quite a bit of shopping to be done over here. If you plan on coming to George's Fair, which I highly recommend, wear slippers and shorts. You'll see in a little bit that it does rain, and actually the drainage system here is not that great. It gets flooded, so people who are wearing sneakers were wearing plastic bags over their sneakers or not getting it ruined, so I highly recommend just wearing slippers. My dad and I didn't want to wait around the rain anymore, and the kind of dampened our mood literally, so we bought some small finger food, some chicken and things like that. Got this drink. This drink is really nice, by the way, honey milk if I'm not wrong, and we just took a tuk-tuk back. The next morning we wanted to go to Icon Siam, but we found out about our walk. So it's a walkway that's connecting a lot of major malls together, and we had to stop by Big C because my dad wanted coffee, but they didn't have ready-made coffee, so we just walked around. And if you ever forget to bring a particular beauty product, you can actually get these type of sample trial packets that is readily available at supermarkets or pharmacies, and I was really impressed by these. Okay, afterwards we really made our way to Icon Siam. We had to take a train down to the nearby pier where we took a free ferry boat to Icon Siam. I felt it was more iconic, you know. Icon Siam is considered the mother of shopping in Bangkok, if I'm not wrong. It has 11 stories of shopping to be done. I only made it like halfway, like 6 stories I think, and that's it because I was too tired by then. The boat comes every 10 minutes if I am not wrong, and it's a very short boat ride journey. It's just directly across the river itself, and of course when the mall comes into view, it looks really grand, really iconic, I must say. So it was definitely an experience. So we actually didn't have breakfast yet, so it was considered brunch, and we decided to go for a Jumbo restaurant, a Singaporean restaurant, and they had dim sum, which I think my dad was craving for, and let me tell you, the food here was so good, and I think we had 6 different dishes if I'm not wrong. Good. Okay, maybe not the coffee because he really didn't like the coffee, but everything else dim sum wise was so good. I believe we paid for drinks plus the dim sum, it was only like 40 Singapore dollars, and it's very affordable, so below 1,000 baht. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Icon Siam also has an indoor floating market called Suk Siam. If you do come here, come on an empty stomach because the choices and selection of food is massive. It's on the ground floor and there's no actual like floating boats. They're all located at the side. They also have a second floor as well, but there's very little shopping to be done on the second floor of this area. More of dining areas for you to sit down and have your meals. After doing some shopping on the upper levels, I did feel a bit hungry, so I did come down and get a corn dog for myself. Once you make your way out of the ground floor, the actual mall itself looks drastically very different but very modern for sure. Lots of international brands like H&M, Zara, Uniqlo, Urban Revivo, Victoria's Secrets, but the main reason why I came here was to check out this particular brand called Siam 1928. Ever since getting into fragrances, I have heard a lot about this particular brand, and look at the bottles, they are so pretty. I picked up 1 fragrances from this brand just to try it out, and let me know if you want a fragrance haul for Thai perfumes. And of course, I had to go to Naraya. Naraya is actually a very famous, very popular, iconic bag. Oh, the tote bag was actually quite nice. Ew. Does it look like I'm carrying a pillowcase, a quilt out? That's the only concern.
A lot of parents who have babies, they like to buy this.
Cause the diaper bag so big. Oh, look at this, it's huge, you know. Ooh, oh my god. This bag is really cute. Wow. This store was 2 stories high and the floor itself was huge and wide, so I recommend you coming down to this store if you plan on buying anything from Naraya. Afterwards, we realized that actually we were pretty close to Asiatic, also a very popular touristy area, so we had to take a ferry boat back to the pier, and then we had to take another free ferry boat to Asiatic. So they are located along the same river, just that at different ends of it. And let me tell you, this place is so sad. Like, you think at the pier it looks very happening, there's so many people and stuff like that, right? But there are a lot of closed stores once you walk further in. It's so sad because I remember having a great shopping experience back in 2018 when I last came here. There's some like food store market as well, but in general, the main street, I remember pushing my way through so many tourists, and now it's just so empty. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to not push and shove with others, but this is a very sad sight. Oh wow. Normally this place is full of tourists. And because we had an early dinner, there really wasn't much for us to do. Shopping wise, it's non-existent. It's very disappointing. It's really sad. I feel really bad for the stallholders. Even when I watch the footage now, I feel super sad. I think the majority of tourists has gone to Icon Siam instead of Asiatic, so go there, not here. So the next morning, instead of turning right, we turned left, which is actually the Pratuna morning market. This is the wholesale fashion market itself. This is not air conditioned, so the prices are way much more cheaper than Platinum. It can go below below 100 baht per piece of clothing if you buy, for example, 3 pieces of clothing or more from them. I managed to find linen pieces from the morning market for, I think it's a 2-piece sets for about 400 baht. That's like 16 Singapore dollars for a shirt and pants. That is crazy affordable. For size reference, I am usually a size 38-40 for tops and 42 for bottoms. Let me know if you'll be interested in like a clothing haul from Bangkok, because honestly there's a lot of clothing I've bought from there and it won't be able to fit into this video. And if you're a plus size sister like Euro 46, 48, there's actually a plus size fashion market as well. It is located just right next to the morning market. I used to visit this mall as well because my mom loved shopping there. We decided to go get lunch afterwards, and I think I was getting a little bit tired, so I didn't take any video footage of my lunch. I'm sorry. We then went to Siam Square One, which I went for this Thai perfume store called Journal. Picked up 3 different scents from this store. It's a very niche fragrance house and they had a mango sticky rice perfume. You bet I got my hands on that. The sales girl at the store, who was super nice and polite by the way, told me that apparently they use coconut oil in their fragrances. In the same building there is Gentlewoman, which is a very hot and upcoming fashion brand right now. If you're a size L, XL like in Asian sizes, don't bother coming here because there is no L or XL for you. Their sizes are quote unquote free size. If not, it's XS to M, and like that's about it. I don't really see any bigger size than a size 2, 4, roughly around there. But since I came all the way from Singapore to Thailand, I had to leave with something, right? So I decided to get the Gentlewoman very iconic tote bag, canvas bag. Everyone in Thailand or in Bangkok at least is carrying that, or if not an imitation or rip-off version of it. If you fall into the XS to M category, I think you should be able to find really cute clothing from here. I was just very disappointed that it was not a very size inclusive brand. I mean, look at me, I'm thickums. Afterwards, I headed down to Eve and Boy. So this is like their local Sephora where it carries a mix of both international brands like you see MAC, Kiehl's, and also their own local beauty brands as well, by their own local makeup artists or their influencers. And you can see they have Idly, the Japanese sunscreen brand. Didn't take a lot of footage in there because I think the staff there were giving me the stink eye for recording so much, so I had to cut it short, unfortunately. But don't worry, I have a Thai beauty brand haul upcoming, so stay tuned for that. Afterwards, we went to Siam Paragon because my dad wanted to go down to this particular gourmet market where actually they sell lots of good, high quality, fresh produce over there. And he remembered liking their in-house cuttlefish. So, and he also wanted to get coffee, of course. And we went to Central World afterwards as well, just to have a quick walk since it's rather near to our hotel. The brands here are more on the international side, and international imports are usually much more expensive. Oh, but I came across these 2 perfume houses which I really wanted to get, which is a niche Thai fragrance, but I didn't because I was buying too much perfume at that point. But then I saw Boots, which I had to go and take a look. This was the only Boots that I visited, so they had a lot of makeup as well, Cute Press. Also, I went to see Number 7, but Number 7 only now sells skincare, which I was quite shocked, and I had enough skincare in my room, so I was like, that's enough. I know how to pronounce it, Sri Chand. And they also had Cathy Doll, which apparently Cathy Doll, their packaging, their brand endorsing, popping off, the display, everything looks so professional, so tight together. And look at this good deal, 1 for 1. For 1 liter below $8, I think it's a super good deal. Low-key philosophy ripoff, but I had to get it. I mean, such a good deal, I couldn't resist. Then we had dinner at Central World Food Court. This is probably my dad's favorite place for dinner because he was so impressed with the Thai fried rice and the tom yam goong, the tom yam soup. It was so authentic, so sour, spicy, and just full of flavor. We have a quick little picture haul of what I roughly bought for that day. I had to buy that Naraya purple clutch bag. It was so cute, so pretty, I had to get it. On our last full free day, we went to Terminal 21. I highly recommend this mall personally because this is where you can buy a lot of their local designer clothing, and their clothing are usually very high quality. They are usually located on the 3rd floor and above. The first 2 floors are more international brands like again H&M, Victoria's Secrets, and each floor in this mall is themed to a certain country. For example, this over here is Japan, or previously New York, for example. Of course, price point wise, this is more on the middle range of things, about 500 baht-ish, but the quality is there. My highlight will probably be this store over here. It's a vintage store where you can tell the type of dresses they have. It's all very vintage with the patterns and the bags. I did pick up a jacket, a denim jacket from here. It's very, very cool. It's very me. I love it so much. And I got this, of course. I couldn't help it. It's so cute. And they had matching shorts. Of course I had to get it. The two-piece sets was about 600 baht. It's such a good deal. Of course I had to get a practical dress and it had pockets. The moment anything has pockets, I'm buying it. Afterwards we went for a Thai massage, a full body massage, and oh, I did not know I have so much tension in my shoulders, but I think my dad had it way much worse.
The whole thing, the pain all run down. It's so painful when you rub. I feel the leg very loosened.
Okay, so that's the 50-year-old pain. And afterwards we decided to call it a night. Before the next morning we decided to go back to Pratuna Mall again for one last hurrah and one last morning run to just walk around and see if there's anything that we would like to get. I did pick up 1 or 2 more pieces of clothing, but not much. And after that I went back to Central World for one last round of crab fried rice because my dad knew he was gonna miss it so much, so we decided to go back there again. Shortly after that we had to go to the airport already to go and get ready and catch our flight back home to Singapore. Honestly, at this point I was very tired, very lethargic. I just wanted to go home and be in my bed. I felt like Bangkok was a sensory overload for my senses for like 6 days straight, and it was a little bit too much for me. I don't remember traveling being this tiring in the past, but yeah, it was a good flight back. A bit of turbulence, but overall it was still okay. The moment we were up in the air, like a significant height, I looked down like, okay, I think I can take a nap now. So I just killed for the first hour. I'll definitely be coming back to Bangkok, but maybe not so soon, I guess. But after in my deep nap, I got woken up by my dad to have dinner because it was time to eat. And again, the food was great from Singapore Airlines. I'm absolutely shocked. I had pasta, bolognese pasta. My dad had laksa, and laksa, I regret not picking laksa because the laksa was so good, so spicy, and we were back home in Singapore.
A warm welcome home. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is off.
By the time we cleared customs and claimed our baggage, it was already 12 a.m. When time reached home, it was already 12:30. I was so ready to just go back home, bathe and sleep. So yeah, we'll be back with the regular makeup scheduled stuff next week. If you guys enjoyed the video, do remember to leave a like and subscribe down below. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!